I've recently had my dissertation research published, and we were exploring whether the political stance of a newspaper affected on how it reported on social work issues, basically. And the findings were that yes, it did impact on the way it reported on social work, at least for the newspapers that we looked at and the time frame that we looked at. And I think the most significant finding was that right-wing newspapers had significantly more negative mentions of social workers than left-wing newspapers, and the left-wing newspapers had significantly more positive mentions of social workers than the right-wing newspapers. I think there's been a lot of discussion about this. I think the British Association of Social Workers released kind of research on this in 2022 that kind of give guidance to journalists about how kind of they should report on social work. So I think it is something that's being discussed, and I hope kind of the more it's looked at and the more it's kind of talked about, that hopefully change will come from that, I think. It was obviously my dissertation research that's been published, and it was actually Jonathan Scourfield that kind of recommended that I try and publish it. And I was a bit like, oh, I don't know whether I should or not, but obviously his confidence in me and the fact he would support me even though I'd graduated and I wasn't in the university anymore, he was ultimately the person that supported me to kind of get my work published. So, you know, big thank you to him basically for supporting me through the kind of dissertation itself. And then obviously getting that to a place where it's been able to be published is, yeah, really, really proud of that. So.